You know what it is, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy.
You know who it is, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy.
Ode, Maurice, Ode, Maurice,
Maurice, Ode, Maurice, Ode.
black and snerdy, black and snerdy.
Black and snerdy, black and snerdy.
Hey, oh,
Yes, Mo?
are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy, black and snerdy.
It's the Black and Snerdy podcast with Ode and Maurice.
Extra edition. Extra edition of the Black and Snerdy podcast. I'm, of course, Maurice.
I'm Odie.
And we together host the Black and Snerdy podcast.
So today we are starting off something new we decided to do for the new year. Well, it's not very new. We've done Watch Out Nows before, but we are bringing them back. And Watch Out Now is when we just discuss things that we're watching, sometimes that we're listening to. But then we come and discuss and let you know like what we thought about it, how it was, what we liked, what we didn't like, and at the end you'll find out how many snerds did this thing get. 1 out of 5 on a scale of 1 out of 5. How snerdy we thought it was. And for our inaugural, episode for 2023.
We're starting off a new year with a new thing.
We are watching Kaleidoscope.
Yes, it is a Netflix vehicle. It's a limited run series on Netflix.
So it's new. It is based on a true story. It is one of those.
Is it?
Yeah, I saw it. It says that there's a true story that inspired the heist drama. And it's basically the story spans 25 years. And each episode it's a different color. So the first episode we watched is yellow.
Yes.
And I believe there's 8 episodes in the season. And you can watch all of them in different orders except for the finale, of course. And so Netflix keeps promoting this as something that's going to change the way you watch TV. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, I don't know either because like I already because of the one Netflix sketch show already kind of jump around from episode to episode. I Think You Should Leave. That's the name of the Tim Robbins sketch show. Yeah, like the way that it's set up, it's not like in sequential order. Like sometimes it'll just jump from one episode to another after you finished. So I don't know how groundbreaking this new invention is.
I mean, a lot of shows,
as a convention.
I think, unless it's like say for instance, I don't know, Law and Order SVU or whatever, you don't have to watch previous episodes to really know what's going on. You can kind of jump around because each episode is kind of its own thing.
They're self-contained.
But this is interesting because each color is like a different timeline to the heist. Like one is a week before, one several months, one several years, etc., etc. So we're going to watch it first. In chronological order. Yes. And then we're going to watch it again in the variety. We're going to jump around and then we'll watch the final episode and then we're going to tell you which one we liked better.
Yeah. So this is going to be a very interesting experiment for us.
Yeah, we're trying new things.
To do, yeah.
We're trying new things.
Okay.
So the show, it stars Giancarlo Esposito, our favorite.
Yes, from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul.
What is the Spike Lee movie? School Days.
He was in School Days?
Yeah, he was.
He
was the alpha.
No, he was also in.
He was also in.
Do the Right Thing. Yes,
yeah.
he was in Do the Right Thing. He's been around for a long ass time.
He has been around forever.
Yeah, good on him that he's getting the prominence in the last decade that he deserves.
I feel like he's always been in things, but I think he was definitely black famous for a while, and now he's definitely getting just famous mainstream because he's a great actor.
Yes.
Anything that I've seen him in, he always figures out a way to reinvent the role. So I feel like he should be on George Clooney status.
Pause due to poor.
Come on, Mercury. Don't stress me out right now.
All right, no worries.
We're back.
Yes, we're still recording, so it's all good. But you were saying, Giancarlo Esposito
he should be on George Clooney status of
he is the Black George Clooney.
He's can do anything. He's been everywhere. He's attractive. He's suave.
Yes,
you like seeing him on screen.
I liked him in The Get Down.
I only think I watched 2 episodes of The Get Down.
Oh, it was. You know what it is? It's a really good show. I like how they chronicle the history, and it's a Baz Luhrmann vehicle, so it's grandiose and dialed up to 11. But it's hard for me to recommend going back to, knowing that it got canceled.
Yeah, that's why I didn't finish watching it, because I like to sometimes stockpile shows and then I'll watch them. But once they get canceled, it's
it's an incomplete series.
Do I want to watch this and be disappointed because it's gonna end in some sort of cliffhanger?
Yeah, it's an incomplete series. I don't like watching incomplete series.
So okay, I'm gonna.
My virgin brain won't allow it.
Here are the top billings for Yellow. That's the first episode. So we have Hannah.
Yes.
Who is I can't. Well, she's a black woman.
Okay.
We know that she has a prominent role. She is a well-versed thief, assuming in her role. She's
the inside job girl, apparently.
Well, we know that she she's working for another person who is going to be a major in the series, Roger.
Yeah.
And we know that he owns some sort of conglomerate of doing whatever nefarious things.
Yeah. Essentially, how the story is set up. These group of thieves are trying to rob these triplets who are the holders of these $7 billion bearer bonds, and the Roger guy is gonna be the security guy who holds all the bearer bonds.
So
together.
It's on one hand you have Hannah, Roger, they're on one side. Oops, sorry. Yeah. They're on one side. And then the main group of thieves are, we have Leo, Stan, Bob, Judy, Ava, RJ, and then on the other side we have Hannah, Roger, the triplets, and then there's just other little side characters.
Yeah.
So tell me, what did you think about the first episode?
I mean, the first episode is basically just the setup for the entire series, right? I found it intriguing. There were a few moments in it that reminded me that the heist genre has become I don't want to necessarily say stale, but there are tropes within every heist drama, the main dude trying to convince the group of people to do the job, and essentially he said are you in, when the guy's I'm retired. It
was reminding me of Ocean's 11 and all those other heist movies, but it didn't feel. It was maybe I've never been a thief, so perhaps this is how you get it going. It's you want to join my podcast? let's get you on there, and then you just bring people in, and whoever says yes and hopefully is good at their job, and that you just you start having a party. Well, a thief party.
But
you start having research and
once you start dropping the $7 billion reward type thing that they're going after, it's really easy to convince people.
I don't know if $7 billion is amazing. It's
yes,
great,
it is.
Awesome.
My only problem with it is that it's in the form of bearer bonds, and it's not like it's the problem with heist movies is that you can't immediately use the money or the funds, because there's gonna be heat.
Yeah. So you have to figure out a way of washing the money or switching it out or something like that.
It, or you have to wait long enough to make it you have to sort of funnel it into your, I guess,
you have to
bank account, because you have to have an offshore type bank account.
Poor for 5 years. In my opinion, I feel like if you're gonna do a heist,
you have to pretend to be poor.
You have to pretend to be poor or middle class for 5 years so that nobody suspects that you are, you've swindled this money somewhere.
Yeah, and the temptation is already there.
Yeah.
If I had just, first and foremost, if I had just $1 billion, let alone $7 billion, just sitting around, one, I wouldn't be here doing this podcast. This would not be happening. Or two, I would be doing this podcast and I would just be as the most comfortable possible. So I would be doing it shirtless, with just the most laissez-faire sort of attitude that anybody could have.
I could see that.
Yes.
But okay, so did you
levels.
So did you say all that you wanted to say about how you felt about the first episode?
I think, you know what, as an opening to a series, I think it did what it needed to do, as far as setting up the players involved. Everybody has a dynamic. Bob is married to Judy, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, Bob and Judy are married. Judy and Stan used to date or something like that. I do have a question. Are Hannah and Leo father and daughter?
That was what I wrote down in my notes.
I have father and daughter question mark.
I did say that as well. I'm thinking that they are father and daughter because I don't see... They have a familial relationship.
Yeah.
And
it
now,
could be a mentor type thing, too.
Yeah, it could be maybe he was best friends with her father. He's her godfather. He's her uncle or something like that. But we know that they have a close relationship that is not rooted in romance, thankfully, because he's seems like 30 years older than her or something like that.
No, he seemingly has a romance with Ava.
Yeah, I think that he and Ava have something going on, and they're gonna it'll come, whatever their relationship is, we will see it throughout the rest of these episodes. I thought it was a good first episode. I was not bored or it wasn't dragging. I will say some parts of it definitely made you suspend your disbelief a little bit, because it's set in New York. The main part's set in New York. And so the thing that made me, obviously, spoiler alert. If you're listening to this, there's going to be spoilers.
Warning.
So whatever we're saying, just, watch it for yourself.
Folks, where's the lie?
So, the part that I feel like they had to suspend the disbelief was when because they need to fund their heist.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we need $350K. They needed it fast. They had one idea, but whatever happened, they couldn't do it. Yeah. So they decide to rob Diamond Way, which is on 47th Street and Avenue of Americas.
Yeah, the Diamond District here in New York.
And if you've been to the Diamond District, if you've ever lived in New York, it is there's diamonds everywhere, but it's also those stores are pretty well guarded.
Yeah, the security down on the Diamond District is insane.
And even if you don't I've worked in the Diamond District, I've been in the Diamond District often. It's not something where I feel like you can always tell that they're security guards.
Yeah, they got undercovers.
They're definitely undercovers meandering around and doing their thing. And I just feel like the way that they figured out how to like pull off the heist of the Diamond District was to set off these like smoke bombs. And if you've ever lived in New York or been in New York, you know that there's counterterrorism in any area where it is a lot of people, like Midtown, in those big, high populated areas.
I thought you were about to say there's just not that many trash cans.
Well, there's not.
There's not.
It's hard to find trash cans.
They were throwing smoke bombs in the trash cans.
It's hard to find trash cans,
and there was
in
like
the city.
5 of them on the street on one block, which is not true at all. You'd be lucky if there is a trash can at the end of the block.
Yeah,
that's why you just throw it on the ground.
But it's like with counterterrorism, it took them, I don't know, like 90 seconds to pull off the whole thing, and that just. Counterterrorism would have already had their machine guns shooting at them or something. The moment smoke is a part of it, like it wouldn't take that long for the police to get there. So that part, I'm like, I don't really see that as being plausible. But it's TV magic.
They did it in 90 seconds.
They did, but like,
you know what I mean, like movie 90 seconds, which is like 4 minutes.
But in that area, there's always police, even like just standing on the corners. Mm-hmm. There's police cars. That's really close to Rockefeller Center and 30 Rock. Like, there is always police over there. So I don't believe that they would have been able to, like, you're running into the train station with gas masks on.
Yeah, there would have been police officers just littered in the train station.
And they would have been like, why the fuck do you have gas masks? Like, the cameras don't always work, as we can tell.
Yes.
But they would have seen people running into the train station, and then they get off at like a few stops away or whatever, and they get into a van.
What? I thought they went on the other side. I didn't think they caught a train.
Maybe that's what they
went
did.
On the other side.
Maybe that's what they did.
There was no way they were gonna be able to get on the train with the gas mask.
I thought they were like went down there and like went on one side, but going down there and getting on the other side does make sense.
Yeah.
But then like they are in a unmarked black van that they just jump into and drive away, and I just feel like, would they have been able to actually pull that off?
Probably not.
Without anyone dying. Like, someone gets shot in the hand because he was being an asshole.
Yeah,
but
Bob is a fucking moron. They established that within the movie. Judy's husband, Bob, who fucking...
This Aussie asshole who I feel like I wrote down that he is an asshole and he is going to get locked up or he's going to get them caught.
Yeah,
because he doesn't listen and follow directions. And if any time in life you need to follow the project manager's instructions, it is when you are pulling off a heist for $7 billion.
Yeah, and he's the type of dude who, like, my suspicion is he's gonna betray the rest of the team.
Oh, for sure.
For money.
For sure.
Just for, like, a quick buck.
He was stealing salt and pepper shakers from the restaurant.
Yeah.
How much are maybe these were not, like, maybe if they're nice salt and pepper shakers, but they're not like crystal or gold or sterling silver.
Yeah.
Regular degular thing. So he just has an issue. He's a kleptomaniac who's an asshole who is like, has an inflated ego.
Hard-headed.
And I just feel like I could already tell if anyone is going to die in this whole thing, it's going to be him, and I wouldn't care. Because he's obnoxious and annoying. And I just feel like that type of personality is one that I don't want to deal with. Do you have a favorite character as of yet?
As of right now, I'm sort of vibing with Hannah's girlfriend, wife, partner, best friend. Oh, that's their best friend?
I feel like they're best friends.
I didn't get roommate vibes.
I got best friends.
I got lover vibes.
At first, I was thinking, because in the initial scene of the show...
If you spoke a second language, just because we're best friends doesn't mean I'm going to learn your language.
No, but I think they're...
Just so we could be even closer.
I think they might... Well, I think that because she speaks Korean, and I think she's either black and Korean, or maybe it was something where, like, she was raised... Like, they're best friends that were raised from, like, childhood together. And I think when you're that, like, I know people who have friendships that are that close from such a young age where, like, they probably would learn the language just because, like, that's your best friend. You're always with them all the time, and you learn it. Like, I didn't get romantic vibes from them. Like, at first, I was curious because of the fact in the beginning of the episode, we see that, like, Hannah fakes out this girl and is like seeing her, and then like uses her to like infiltrate something to steal something. But at first I was excited about. I was like, oh, Black queer love. But then I don't know if she is queer. I think she might have just been using that to like manipulate the girl.
Well, she's at least bi.
If you're a thief, you don't have to. You could kiss people and go on dates with them without having that be your sexual preference.
If you're a thief and you can just kiss people,
a thief who is desiring to get something from someone, if you're trying to manipulate someone, you don't have to have any actual desire for them. You're desiring the thing that you can get from them. So I don't see that necessarily as making her as making it that she's actually queer. I think it could have just been a vehicle that she used to get what she wanted. I mean, she is at least bi because we know she's pregnant with someone's baby. We don't know whose baby it is.
It's not clear who the
but
baby
we know
daddy
she's pregnant.
is.
So, and the way that she and
or
her
donor, I should say,
the way that she and her roommate.
I also don't believe they're a roommate because she has a very high up job. Like, she has a very, like...
That doesn't... But I think that her...
At a certain point, you're not roommates.
Liz. I think that Liz is living with her because she's already said that
Liz doesn't have a job.
Doesn't have a real job.
Yes.
And that's why I think that they're best friends. She loves Liz. She's funding their lives or whatever together. Like, she's paying for this rent. She lets Liz live there, and they are, just being besties. And then, like, now that's why she got her the job, so that she could work with her and she can fund the life that she wants, being a DJ in Berlin or whatever. But I don't think that they are actually romantic. I get close relationship. I don't get intimate in that sense.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, vote if you think they are. Vote if you think they are together. I don't think so. I think they're just best friends. But I'm curious who her child's father is. That would be very interesting to find out. Mm-hmm. And I want to know if she is Leo's daughter. I'm thinking it's true. But we'll just have to wait and see. So my favorite character, I think, I don't know. I probably would say that Laura or Hannah, definitely one of the top. And then, of course, Leo.
Why is Hannah up at the top? Is it just because she's black?
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. No, it's not just because she's black. I think she is a strong black woman. Who is capable. She's going for what she wants. She's doing the damn thing. And she just seems like she has a lot of layers to her that I would like to unpack. And then Leo, Giancarlo's character, I would really like to know more about him. I think he's like the mastermind behind everything. So I feel like he's going to give me something that I want to see on the show.
Yes.
My least favorite character is Bob. I hope he dies, and if anyone gets caught, I hope it's him, and that he dies in custody. Mm-hmm. I'm curious about RJ because he's the driver that they're hiring, and I think that he might be on the spectrum.
Yeah, I was guessing that he's somehow on the spectrum. I think ever since Baby Driver, now all heist movies have to have a getaway driver that is on the spectrum.
Was he on the spectrum?
Yes, he was.
I don't remember that, but
yeah,
that would make sense. Okay, so other things that I'm curious about for Kaleidoscope another thing that I felt like could be bad for them. In the scene where they are doing the diamond heist and Bob gets shot, That's DNA.
Yeah, so there's a
wouldn't
bunch
the
of
police
DNA
find
just
the DNA?
sprayed on the, especially because he's already in the system. He's already been arrested, which means they already have his fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
They already have DNA from him via the fingerprints. So him splurting blood in his DNA makes him a liability for the actual long-term heist, the grander heist.
So I'm curious how that's going to play out, but I mean, I'm sure the next episode or whatever is not gonna. That's probably gonna just be bypassed. Then another thing. Well, I really liked that they had Hannah speaking Korean because that was dope. Mm-hmm. And again, I think it was a really good soundtrack.
If we're oh yeah. So my thing is this: I am so sick and tired of Sympathy for the Devil constantly playing in all these fucking movies. You know what? A few years ago, my family posed this question. If there is just one song that exists that you could hear one more time and never again, like which song would it be? At the time, I put "Let's Get It On" by Marvin Gaye because I always hear it on around Valentine's Day, commercial chocolates and everything like that, and it's the go-to fuck song in every single movie. Now I'm saying Sympathy for the Devil is the go-to song for like heist movies, like please allow me to introduce myself, I'm the man. Like, no, we're done with that. I would prefer if we could just somehow get that out of the soundtrack. Move away from that song. It's such like a cop-out. Like, yes, we know that the characters that we're watching on screen are bad guys, but they're likable bad guys. So what's the song we're going to play when we're talking about likable bad guys who have a gray morality? Sympathy for the Devil. I'm done with it. We could be done with it as a society. No more.
Well, the Rolling Stones are an iconic band.
So what? Like,
they do have a large discography.
Let's get a different song in there by even a different artist. Hell, even if it's Rolling Stones, something else like from their deeper catalog. Like, I'll take that.
I'm curious about Roger and Leo's relationship. Mm-hmm. I think that the only reason Leo's trying to pull off this heist is because Roger did something to him. What that could be? Oh, I know what it could be. Roger said that Sakura, when she was pregnant, stopped drinking caffeine. I'm gonna guess that Sakura is Hannah's mother, and Roger stole Sakura from Leo, and that's why he's trying to pull off this heist. That's I'm curious if that comes to fruition. Sakura.
Yeah.
I believe that could possibly
This is a character that hasn't been introduced, and it was just named like in a throwaway line, I would say.
I believe that she might be Hannah's mother, and that Roger probably stole her from Leo.
So Hannah got the job through nepotism.
Nepo babies. They run the world. Who knows? She got it. She's capable.
I think that kind of digs away from your strong, capable black woman.
You could be super. There are plenty of super capable people they use the resources that they have to move through the world. Just because you are a Nepo baby doesn't mean you're not a strong person. You can't be. She wouldn't have getting the job and keeping the job and advancing in the job just because of nepotism are not going to happen. She could still be working in the.
I don't think he would be talking to his daughter that way.
I don't think that that's his daughter. I think that Hannah is Leo's daughter, and Roger was in some sort of relationship with Hannah's mother.
I don't think you. So stepdaughter or date.
We will see.
Date.
We will see.
What's the name of a dude who dated your mother, but never got married?
Your uncle.
That's gross.
It's uncle, Mr. Roger.
Yeah, his mother's. So you think Hannah's mother is his is Roger's wife?
Yes, but I think she's dead. Or she was his lover at some point, but I think she's dead. Because the way he talked about her sounded like past tense. So that's my assumption. We'll see if it's true. We'll watch more episodes with us to find out whether or not that comes to fruition. But I think I'm curious though. Like, I think that the whole reason why Leo wants to go after the triplets, I don't think he cares about the triplets. I think he cares about Roger and ruining his business. And his business obviously has something to do with securing things for criminals or people with a lot of money or whatever the case may be. Yeah. And so Leo just wants to get back at Roger because they said this is 7 years in the making. Maybe her mother died 7 years ago and she blames Roger. And so she and her father are teaming up to get back at him. I don't know. We're going to see. There's 7 more episodes that we will watch and the story will unfold. But that is my guess. That is my hypothesis for this season. If that's your hypothesis, I think that go off. Bob is going to either get arrested or die. Judy might also die or get arrested because of Bob, because that's her husband. Mm-hmm. I think
Stan and Judy are gonna rekindle some sort of romance.
Yeah, I think Bob will probably die or get arrested or just be an asshole, and they're gonna have to kick him out of the group or he'll betray them. Mm-hmm. And then Stan and Judy will get back together. He's gonna leave his boring wife that he hates. And then I think that Ava and Leo might get together. She might die. Mm-hmm. Or get arrested, but she's not going to give them up. RJ, because he seems like the most lovable one out of them. I don't want him to die, but because he's the most lovable out of them, he might be the one to die first.
I don't think anybody's gonna die. Like, it's so a lot of times with these heist movies, it's less about who dies and it's more about like who betrays whom and who gets caught. Like, red-handed or gets arrested. I think it's and I get the sort of like lighthearted. It's not as intense as a lot of heist movies can be. There's definitely some playful banter between different members of the team. In a sort of, I don't want to say completely lighthearted way, but definitely an elevated way where like death is not, I think, really going to be on the table.
I mean, I hope not. I don't want any of them to die except for except for Bob. Because he's annoying.
Yeah. Fuck out of here, Bob.
But outside of that, I'm curious to see how all their relationships converge together. And where else the season has to go.
Yeah.
How many snerds would you give the first episode?
Are we rating the episode by episode, or are we going to rate the entire experience?
We're going to rate it by episode, and then at the end it'll have what is it called? An average.
An average?
Yeah.
Okay, then. I'll do 3. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5 snerds.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it... I'll give it 3.5 snerds. Mm-hmm. I think that the action was good. I think that the soundtrack was good. The acting, like the way that they invited us into the world of all the characters to just introduce them. I thought they did a good job on that, and it makes me want to watch more. So I will give them 3.5. And then, we'll go from there.
Okay, I guess we'll go from there.
So watch it with us next week. Yeah, probably next week. When we have another Watch Out Now. Mm-hmm. We're going to be watching Kaleidoscope episode 2, which I believe
it's green.
It's green?
Yes, it's green.
All right, we're going to be watching Green next week. So stick around. Watch it come back on Wednesday. We will talk about the next episode, and we'll see if it gets more or less nerds than this last time.
Yes, and of course, this is an audio podcast as well. Feel free to download this to all the people who are watching on Instagram. You can download this at any time. We're on Spotify and all the podcast areas where podcasts live. Yes. Everywhere. We're everywhere.
The link is in the bio.
Yes.
So if you go to our Instagram, click on it, and it'll take you wherever you want to go.
Yes.
So we will see you back here on this weekend when we record our usual episodes. So come back with questions or comments or concerns. Maybe you should watch the episode with us next. Well, watch it, and then next week when we come back, you can talk about it with us, and we can have a conversation. So that's it, and that's all. That's all we got for you this week with a little extra special bite-sized Black and Snerdy episode for you. And we look forward to watching out with you next week.
All right.
Goodbye of our inaugural Watch Out Now Wednesdays. And enjoy the rest of your night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snerdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snerdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD, THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Snerdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.